Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Sagittarius. So the Earth has continued its path and it looks like you're getting a second time Virgo Sun highlighting the Sagittarius Moon, because next day the Sun is in Libra, but then you don't get your reading, so you would have to wait a month. So you get a second time the Sun giving you the light, and that means that Virgo is really wanting to give you a message. Last time, since everything is cyclical, I include the last reading, Virgo Sun, Sagittarius Moon. You can see that you're being guided back through the 6666 portal. And yeah, so I always find it very fascinating when you get a message twice, right? It speaks immediately about the fact that Virgo is important in your life, that there is someone that is actually urging you to be healthy. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the messenger. And of course, Virgo is the sixth house of health. And the houses is where the scene or the act is taking place, and the planets are the actors of the world, right? And so this big actor, Mercury, is talking to you as your sign. And the sign is what role is this actor playing? But right now here we have, of course, the Sun in Virgo. And the Sun is not a planet. The Sun is a dwarf star. And we know what stars do, right? The yoga position for Virgo is always back up in the mountain, Tadasana, where I see the past and the future. And so this is a very special moment. And then, of course, the moon has continued its path, and I'm going to place this card to the left because we're going back to your new moon. And the new moon is that moment where you have sun and new moon both in your sign, and you're really going deep within, and you're kind of like, okay, this is a soul moment, and the soul is left. Human is to the right, right? So whenever you see a character in the deck facing right, it's that human energy that I want to go out to my full moon, to my opposite sign. And your opposite sign is Gemini. And so you already had your full moon, but now we're going back to your month where you're getting your new moon and you're going to plant the seed. So here you are ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is a big actor. He's expanding. He's like someone that's like, okay, let's have fun. And your sign, Sagittarius, is actually the one that is like really taking things out, right? It's like everything or nothing. And so here we have Temperance, the blending in this beautiful deck of the Medicine Woman Tarot. And here in Virgo, it's Salvador Dali. You are the ninth house of philosophy. So health and philosophy talking with each other, right? And so your yoga position now is going into Paschimottanasana, going into that forward bend and allowing yourself to just really feel, here I am. And this is what happens now, is that you're going back to your new moon. You're going back deep within. Your court card is in this deck, the Eagle, the totem of pipes. If you are born between November 13 and December 11, then is this your court card? If not, please look in the description below. I have listed all the court cards, all the cards that I'm using today. But as you can see, you're not with the horse anymore that has both legs up. You are now an eagle, and you're flying high, and you watch from above what is happening, right? Very powerful. Then I'm gonna pull one card from the Lifruma Healing Oracle. This is the deck that I purchased this year in 23. And here we have the rune alphabet embedded into the cards. And so let's see what the message is, because this comes up on the position of the Judgment, which is discernment here. And look at this beautiful card, right? I find them very beautiful in a very naive way, right? And of course there are others now, they're way more eclectic, and that's what I have. I have all different. I have very old ones and I have like very modern ones. And so let's see what came up is Thorn, the portal, the giant, and it's very interesting. It looks like porn. So, okay, well, porn also is needed, right, I guess, in our society, but it's thorn, it's the portal, it's the giant, and it's kind of interesting. It's like standing here, right? It's like this personality, and it's the number 3, and the 3 is connected with the Empress, and the 20 makes it 23. And so we have a 5 left, and the 5 senses help you to look out, but also look deep within. And so the discernment comes to you in having a look at what this thorn pointing at. So I'm going to read it to you. Dense, thorny thickets encircle sacred spaces. The fairy-infested blackthorn briars call and pull you to their spiked, enchanting, entrancing entrance to the other place. Leaves and purple-fruited slow drops as its naked, twisted black skeleton shifts and shivers, revealing a giant gateway. Dare you. So when you look at it, you can stop the video and enlarge it and read it yourself, but you see first this, and then all of a sudden appears this. There is, right, the path that is written, the path that many people have taken, and now there is an opportunity into a direction where you kind of like don't know where it's bringing you, right? It's almost like there is a second path, and that path continues all the way down, and it's almost like someone is sitting here and is literally like almost sliding down. So very interesting, right? Because the thorn, or that portal that is coming to you through Virgo, right? She holds the hexagram usually in her lantern, but here it's a newborn. It's kind of like an embryo. It's a state of consciousness that's so pure. And so we're going to read to the left because we're going back to your new moon, right? And so I'm going to place the cards to the left. And on the position of the Fool, you can also have a look down in my description below. I pick only certain places in the major arcanas, because otherwise I have 22 major arcanas I have to go through each time, and the reading gets way too long. But I picked, you will see now, the most important ones, the ones that are neutral, but also then the ones that are really directly talking to you right now. And so we begin on the position of the Fool. Comes the seed, right? And the Fool, the 0, he is throwing those seeds out, and look who's coming. You, the Temperance, the pouring into the cup, right? But as you can see, there is no stream of consciousness between the masculine and the feminine, right? The feminine is the one that receives, the masculine is the one that gives. And so here comes immediately the 14, and the 14 calculated together is then a 5. And so you right away have a 5-5 portal. And so the thorn, or maybe the porn, right? I mean, is doing something to you. And so the thorn and the giant portal that is here giving you a giant gateway, it's almost like saying, well, then that will help you to make that stream of consciousness between masculine and feminine flow again. Because here nothing is happening. It's very interesting, right? In most decks there is a stream of consciousness, and here it's being poured in, right? You can see the stream, you can see that something is being poured. Here not. So very important that you maybe look deeper into what this portal is wanting to tell you, okay? Because obviously on the position of the calling, right? This is a call. This is the discernment. This is something that's speaking to you today through Virgo. Something is not flowing. Then comes on the position of the magician. And here in this deck, he has the resources. He has the 4 elements. Comes the mystical shaman, which is the number 38. And the 38 then is the 3 here of thorn. And the 8, of course, that infinite flow of consciousness. And calculated together, you get an 11, a portal. With the 1, it's like 3 times the 1. So you immediately empower yourself with the 1, with that 1 consciousness that is helping you to look into the soul path, because she's slightly looking down. She's looking down and she's like, why is there no stream of consciousness? She's looking into the human path. And so it's very interesting because the mystical shaman is looking into the spiritual path to the left. And so you are called to recognize that the 5-5 portal, right, that we have now here with the thorn, and you as the 14, the 1 and the 4, right? Always the 1 is that 1 consciousness, but the 4 is that that the 4 elements sometimes block us, right? And so this is what also comes through the magician. Magician has all 4 elements lying here, and he's using them. And so the magician and the shaman are the same thing. And so there is something literally telling you, well, use your 5 senses, use that which is given to you and work it. And so then you can actually see that the path now really is going, because it's almost like you're reluctant. You don't want to go to the soul. It's almost like, no, but I want to go this way. I want to expand. I'm Jupiter. On the position of the High Priestess comes this card, and she's called the Seeker. And here comes the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is always that moment where you know you are being guided on a spiritual level, that you have now the amount of money that is needed to seek and to look. And she's facing the left. And she is looking at you. She's not looking at the mirror. Calculated together, you're getting here a 3. But you had an 11 here with the 1. So now you have 4 times the 1. And you remember the 4 is your number. The 1 and the 4. The 14. Temperance. So it's almost like now the magician, it's a state of consciousness, right? And the High Priestess is a state of consciousness as well. And so here your inspiration is to become the mystical shaman. And here your intuition is telling you to become the one energy between the dualities, because that's what she's seeking. She's always seeking that one. And it's really interesting because you see this light here, or the mirror, and you have this light here. You see that? And so the 3 calculated here together works with this 3, right? The thorn and the dense thorny thickets, right? It's like crazy, the wordings here. Encircle sacred spaces. It's almost like the thorns are protecting you here in this forest, and it's like no one sees you here. You are hidden in this mystical place, and there's this one manifestation that is literally speaking to you and is saying, yeah, you are gonna be able to have the holy money and create with that. On the position of the Empress, here it's called the Bounty, comes the Chariot, comes Cancer. And so Cancer is always that moment where we feel we want to be successful because it's the summer. It's that moment where, yeah, we divide our attention between the 2 energies, the same way you divide your energy between the giving and the taking. Here it's the white and the dark things. And so it's always about the duality. It's always about this dimension is giving us the power to come into the center of all these energies, right, that are pushing us around. And so the 7 and the 3 creates a 10. And you get another 1. So already now you have 5 times the 1, right? From the mystical shaman with the magician, you had 3 there, with then here the 4, and now the 10 again. You have now a new cycle that you can start and be successful, and you have the 5 times the 1, and the 5 is again the 5 that came up here through the 14. And so you're learning that the stream of consciousness is not visible, but you see it. The others don't see it, but you know it's there, unless it's not there and you don't see it, right? Then you got to really look at, okay, maybe the mystical shaman is calling me. Maybe the high priestess is literally letting you know you're the one, right? You're that one energy. And now here the Empress as well, right? You are successful if you recognize who you truly are, because you are the 9th zodiac sign. And the 9 is connected then with Virgo, right? The completion. On the position then of Virgo. Here in this deck, it's the guide. And it's really interesting. She has this big sun behind her, and there is this pentacle again, the Sota de Oros, right? So this is Salvador Dali. So this is the Virgo telling you, yes, you are getting the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is that childish desire to have, to want, and to be like, yes, this child is pointing at that coin and is saying, well, I am going to successfully make that money. And you are, right? Because you got it twice coming up. And here in Salvador Dali, it's really beautiful the way he describes also his cards, right? He has like one sentence and it says, proof of one's talent revealing the invisible. Ha. Now, have a look again at the invisible stream. Now, you are getting paid for that invisible stream because you get twice here the Ace of Pentacles. And you got it on the High Priestess, right? It's that very powerful moment. And then comes the Empress with, again, the 1 calculated together. It's the 10, of course, so it's a new cycle. It's almost like it's saying, well, if you mastered this, then you get this, right? Because this one was before. And if you are listening to the mystical shaman, then yes, you're gonna be selling a stream of consciousness that you see, but the others don't see. And so here comes the master hair. It's painting in the Musée du Louvre, and it's really that moment. I'm going to read to you. The coin is a gift of life. It reflects the way you are, a treasure to yourself and your surroundings if you realize your talent. This card challenges you to rediscover and re-evaluate your practical abilities. You should reassess the obvious, just like picking up a coin that has been lying on the street unnoticed. Our own talents often seem to us to be insignificant, like the big transparent dragonfly at the bottom of the picture. The intrinsic and prototypical is often hidden in the invisible. You do not take yourself seriously, or you have the wrong idea about what talent really entails. And that's what I see here. The stream of consciousness, it's almost like you a little like, yeah, whatever. You gotta know that your stream of consciousness is there, but you just have to now understand that you activate it. You get the mystical shaman that's gonna activate it through the 1-1-1-1, 5 times 1 portal, right? And so then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now with this another coin, 6. You have 6 times, which is the third eye, right? You are going to see that you have the power to come into your center and dance, because you got the world on the central stage where the eagle is flying up, and you see up here the world, and you see the 21, which is a 3, and you see the portal, the 3-3, right? And you see that you are the number 9, and the 3 is the 12, and the 12 is the hanged man. It's just right before you become enlightened, and then the 3 is left, and the 3 again is the thorn, is the direction, is the fairy infested blackthorn briars call and pull you to their spiked, enchanting, entrancing entrance to the other place. And here are they dancing, these fairies, right? The world is the dancer. And so, yeah, I think you understand where we're going with this. Then on the position of the Temperance, which is 14, right? Then that creates a 5. You get the star. You get the grandfathers, the 17, Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, or basically Pluto going next year, 2024, into Aquarius. And so a huge transformation is going to come upon us once it's in that sign. And so you do not give up hope. Yes, this world is crazy. This world will always be crazy, because that's what it's all about, right? That's what duality does to us. We have a choice. Because on the position of the moon, which is here the dream oracle, you get the eye of the needle, the intentionality. And so you have a 17-17 portal. And the 17 is always then calculated together the 8. So the 18th card of the grandmothers, right? You have the grandmothers and the grandfathers helping you. And that's what you're holding as a state of consciousness, the 2 cups of the masculine and the feminine. Here's the grandfather and the grandmother. And so look how the 9 and the 8 again creates then a 17, and the 17 is an 8, right? And the 8 is that infinite understanding of a higher consciousness, of the mystical shaman, that is bringing you empowerment. It's almost like saying, well, have a focus. Focus. Really look at it. Focus strongly. Then you see, or rather feel, the stream of consciousness. And so remember, right, this is what Pisces is bringing to you. Then on the position of the sun, here it's the rebirth, comes the 4, the West, the competition in your brain. You gotta just focus. You gotta know there's a last little puzzle piece missing. You have the 19 for the Sun, which creates a 10, and the 4, that's the 14. Then you will have that aha moment, and this stream of consciousness will flow, will be visible to you in your third eye, 6 times the 1, right? And so the 14 creates here another 5, so you have 3 times the 5, right? You had the 5 here, and you also had the 5 here with these 2. The thorn, right? So the thorn is important. And now you get another 5 here. So there is a clarity coming to you through Virgo, because Virgo is in the Sun, and on the position of Virgo came that 1 coin. And the 4 and 1 is a 5 as well, right? And on the position of the Moon came the grandfathers. And the grandfathers is the 1717 portal, the 88 portal. Oh my God, what a beautiful reading this is, right? So focus, and you will see why the card is not streaming, because now we see that on the position of the world comes the 11, comes Libra. Libra is your next reading. And you see there are another 2 ones, so you have 8 ones. And this is the 1717 portal, the 88, right? So now you have 8 times the 1, right? So there's another 8, so it's like very clear, right? It's like really clear what's talking here to you. And just remember that you have an 8 here as well, right, in the mystical shaman. And so you are really recognizing something, that now in the next month you're going deeper, deeper down, shedding more and more what's not working for you anymore, right? So there's 2 times the 1. And then you recognize here that the justice energy is the next step for you to go deeper towards you. After that comes Scorpio, and then comes you, right? And so you are seeing already that there is more and more shedding happening, releasing energy that you don't need, that you don't want, and that you want to shift. And so you get the help by 8 times 1, right? And it's really clear that you are called to recognize that everything has its moment, everything has its way, and that the house of relationships, right, is bringing you that maybe this dried out relationship needs a new push, needs a new consciousness, needs something, right? And this is maybe then coming to you in the month of Libra, because this is the 7th house of relationship. And so you had the number 7, Cancer, and Cancer is the healer, right? And so remember, it's just about learning what is influencing us, and then become the player yourself. Then you're not being under any influence of the planets, of the signs, and of the houses. Then you create whatever it is that you want to create. And this is why you dream of the focus, right? This is the grandmother brings you eye of the needle, focus, and then a clarity will come where you can shed again an old you that is not really necessary anymore. And then I think the stream of consciousness is gonna flow, and then you can dance. You can dance and you can enjoy yourself, because you have the 3 and the 11, but I don't calculate that together, right? But it would be a 5. right? The 2 and the 3 would be a 5, and then you would have another 5, right? And so it's very clear that the world wants you to shift and shake and break free, so that the stream of consciousness that is streaming is going to be visible to you. Wow. I hope I see you in the next reading, because Libra is here, right? Libra is literally saying, yeah, you're going to shed, you're going to dance, you're going to have a 5 here, but it's the 3-11 here. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.